GRE 502 Level 1 is all about remembering whether a slope is positive, negative, zero, and undefined. And for your reference during this video, I have this nice little area over here that's got a reminder on what it looks like when it's positive, what it looks like when it's negative, zero, and undefined. You read these graphs left to right. So if it's going up left to right, it's positive, down, it's negative. If it's flat, then it's zero. And if it's vertical, then it is undefined. So let's use this to answer a question. Now you won't be given pictures here. You're probably used to doing these with pictures, which is pretty easy. Instead, you're asked to find whether a line has a certain slope depending on its points. So line AB is determined by these points, -6, 0, and 3, -2. And we want to know if that slope is positive, negative, zero, or undefined. Your first step here is to draw a picture. Level 1, you're always going to have to draw a quick little picture. It doesn't have to be perfect. You'll notice you won't be given graph paper or anything. You don't need it. So let's look here. -6, 0. Well, -6 is our x, so we're going to go. Doesn't have to be perfect, but right there is about where we need to be. And then 3, -2. 1, 2, 3. -2 is down here. And if we were to connect these, that would be a negative slope. So your answer here is that the slope is, in fact, negative. Where most people get tripped up here is between zero and undefined slope. And the way I remember it is a horizontal line. Horizontal has a z, and the top and bottom of the z are horizontal, and zero starts with z as well. And then undefined starts with a u, and the tops of these of a u is kind of like vertical. So that reminds me how to remember when it's zero, when it's undefined. All right, let's move on to another question. At the bottom here, we want to know which line has a greater slope, and then we need to justify our answer. So here, let's draw another picture. Do it off to the side. Okay, -6, 2. Okay, that's right about here. And 0, 4, that's 0 in the x direction, 4 in the y direction. A lot of students mix 0, 4, and 4, 0 up. Okay, so here is our first line. Then we do my second line in red so that we can tell the difference. Okay, 1, 0, that's 1 in the x direction, and 0 in the y direction, so that's going to be right here. Okay, and then -3, 0, 1, 2, 3 in the x, -3, and then 0. And so here is our line segment for that one. Now, if we're asked which line has a greater slope, well, obviously the positive slope must be greater than the zero slope. So when you say line M has a greater slope because it actually has a slope that's non-zero. So that automatically means that it's a greater slope. In other cases, greater slope means that you've got a steeper line. And indeed, that actually does apply here. If you think about this is line M and this is line N. Line M has a steeper slope than line N. So this applies to this as well, but it applies to other problems as well. So this one would be greater slope than this one because it's steeper. So the first one I drew there has greater slope than the second one I drew. All right, that's it for level 2. Just make sure you're drawing pictures and make sure you remember what zero and undefined, what the difference is there, and also positive and negative. Good luck.